So, the topic of change is a fascinating part of our journey because we love to avoid change for some reason. We love to pretend like we can save our lives exactly as they are and they'll always be, and nothing will change. And so that is a lie. That is a lie that we tell ourselves. The truth is we're constantly changing. We evolve, we grow physically up to a certain age, and then we start to age beyond that. So, if we're growing physically in our youth, in our childhood, if we evolve, we get gray hair, we lose hair, we gain weight, our joints and our mobility changes, our strength and our stamina changed, then why is it that we fear change so much? Change is something that we're experiencing day after day. It's not a coincidence in any way, right? It's a present part of our existence. And yet we deny it to ourselves. We deny that it is real, and not only it's real, it is happening every day. And perhaps that's because change is happening to us slowly, and we are not really designed to constantly be aware of our existence. Our sort of natural way of existence in life is to project our desires and our interests onto the outer world. And reflecting on change is a reflection of the inner journey. And it's a very important thing for us to do, because once we allow ourselves to reflect on that journey, then we start to recognize not only we're changing on a daily basis, but we're also going to die soon, right? We're also going to leave this life. And so it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter which decisions we make, as long as we are pursuing the calling, what is exciting to us the most, what gives us the strongest sense of adventure, and what creates more fear. Fear itself is such a powerful tool for directing our lives, and this is perhaps the saddest part of our existence, is that most people use fear to not pursue things. And that is certainly one way to go about it. But the opposite of that is also a well-established experience to be had. You can pursue based on what you fear. And I'm here to tell you that most of our growth will come from the pursuit of the fear, of stepping into the fear, of pushing ourselves to go beyond the fear, turning around, U-turning, running away from the fears will only exacerbate this human experience of having certain fears that you're running away from, and of constantly questioning your existence, of constantly wondering, is this what my life is about? The reason why that question comes up, is this what my life is about, and what is my life about? That question comes up because we have not pursued the fears. That question comes up because we have not stepped into the unknown of our fears. That question comes up because subconsciously we're aware, we know that there's something greater out there that's calling our name. However, there's a risk that comes with that. There's a price that comes with that, and we have been avoiding it for so long. The problem with avoidance is that we start to think that it's the norm. We start to think that it no longer feels like avoidance. It feels like this is how things have always meant to be. And the moment when you break away from anything that you've been avoiding, the moment you step into the fear of what you have always meant to be pursuing, that is a deep moment of awakening. That is a moment that will live with you for the rest of your life. And certain examples of that is someone who's maybe extremely obese and has failed to find the right athletics coach and the right discipline to step into training their body. Certain example of that could be someone who's afraid of talking to women, right? And steps into finally approaching someone and giving a beautiful girl a compliment. The awakening that comes through that is one of the most memorable experiences of that person's lifetime. And I've lived both of those scenarios. What matters the most is not for you to approach someone or to lose weight or step into an extreme exercise diet. No. I believe what matters to us and what matters for you the most is to be able to define what it is that you need to do, what it is that causes you the discomfort, what triggers your sense of fear. Wherever the fear is, the excitement also resides right next to it. Wherever the fear is, the adventure is also there, ready to be taken. Wherever the fear is, the growth is waiting. And wherever the fear is, the memorable experiences, lots of memories are waiting for you to be had. And I'm talking about memories that stay with you for a lifetime. Right? So stepping into a fear comes down to maybe one question which is that how much life are you willing to live in one day? How much life are we willing to live in one day? Because one day can just be a cup of coffee and work for 8 hours and then back and watching your TV shows. But one day can also be taking a day trip at 4 a.m, coming back home, training, going in the ocean, swimming. There might be so much more to that day. Meeting new people, making new connections, going for a job interview, creating a YouTube channel. I don't know. How much life are we willing to live in one day? We tend to measure life based on its length, the years that accumulate, and how much risk we've decided to not take in order to set a higher number, get closer to 90, closer to 100 years of life. Really, all that means is that you've decided to not take enough risks, and now you made it to a large number. If you're lucky, life can still destroy your existence, even if you play everything safe. But living a long, comfortable life, there's nothing wrong with that. What is potentially wrong with that is letting go of the pursuit of those fears that were calling your name along the long journey of life. So that's what I want you to reflect on the most. Reflections on what our fears are, what scares us the most, and is that thing worth stepping into? There are such things, such fears that are, in my opinion, just nonsense. Like, my example of it is jumping out of a plane. That's scary, and I just don't care about it. It's just not. It would be a dumb way to die. But we're not talking about those kinds of fears, and it's very important for you as a listener to distinguish between that, right? We're talking about fears that do call your name. Jumping out of a plane, although I acknowledge the fear in it, it just does not call my name. It does not excite me. We're talking about fears that have an element of excitement, and dare I say, a large element of excitement in them. Identify them and lean into them, step into them, even if it's just for once, right? What you'll find is that fear is like it's like an ocean that once you actually step into it, it's only 5 inches deep. There's not much there. And it's the most powerful experience that every human being needs to have. Thank you.